Hello and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. I realize I haven't made very many videos recently, and that's because I was acting in 3 short films and then a movie, and then I was sick, and so I didn't. And then also I retired, or I am retired, and by that I mean I was tired yesterday and today I'm tired again. So anyway, what we're going to do here is we're going to take this tub out and then we're going to put a different tub in. We're going to take this vanity here out. We're going to put another vanity in. We're going to take this tile out and put a different tile in. We're going to take this door out and make it open inside towards the closet. We're going to take this shower out. Here, come on. And we're going to make this shower actually bigger, so we're going to make it come out to this big. So a lot of you guys I think have this problem where you got like a 3x3 shower and it feels very, you know, I want to get in there and wash myself, but it's so difficult, and maybe if I have weight problems then it's a bigger problem. But so we're going to take this wall out and make this a much bigger shower so it feels a little bit roomier. So we're going to, like I said, reverse this door, take that tub out, take this vanity out, reverse this door so it opens in, and then put in a new toilet and new flooring, and I think new lights, and that may be all in here. And then we're going to do some other stuff in another room, but we'll let that be another thing. So, helper with no name, you want to talk about anything in particular? As usual, my helper with no name says no, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and maybe I'll have some more inspiring and funny things to say to you soon. Oh, you know, I did, helper with no name, I did make some shoes the other day out of banana peels. They're slippers. Hello. I'm sure that you guys are all wondering what's John doing right now. Well, I'll tell you. We were busting up tile. So first I want to show you, look over here. We have the shower. It was much smaller, so as a point of reference it was right here, and it felt very tight and crowded. And so we took this whole closet out and we enlarged it. We had to patch the ceiling. We built this bench, and now you have a much roomier shower, which is really nice. We'll get that tile probably tomorrow. We took this vanity out right here. We're going to put a new one in later on today, and then we took out this jetted tub and we're going to put in another tub. But we took all this tile up, so what I want to show you guys is, don't sit on your, whatever. Okay, so it leaves, when you take tile up, then there's this thin set mortar, okay? So you see it's got all these ridges and stuff. This is going to be real difficult to lay a floor on. You can't do it, it'll be horrible looking, right? So you can get a hand scraper, which is just like basically a razor blade, and you can scrape it out. And it's, you know, it works. It's just painful. But I want to help you out. This is called Bulldog. This is a hammer drill. So it's got 3 different settings. It's got just drill, where it just spins. It's got hammer drill, where it spins and then jackhammers. And then it's got just jackhammer, where it just jackhammers and doesn't spin at all. So we're on the jackhammer setting right now. And I'm just showing you how much easier this is than hand scraping. So you can see that that is significantly easier than hand scraping, and it's not as much of beating. You don't get blisters. I mean, I've already got a blister, but that's from earlier. So I hope that helps you guys out if you're laying tile. I guess something else I want to talk to you guys about, I know I've talked to you about this before, is faith. Okay, now let me explain something. A lot of people call the same thing by different names. Okay, so I want to give you a for example. In the medical community, literally every drug that we have has been tested against placebo. And in case you guys don't know, a placebo is basically a sugar pill. It's just saying, hey, this medicine will work for you. It's experimental, but it'll work for you. And then they tell some story and the people believe it. And then they test it against people that have the actual medication. Okay, so what happens is they have a test group that's like, hey, you guys are really taking the medicine. And then another group, and they're like, you're not really taking medicine. You just think you're taking medicine. And so they test that because just the mere belief that you're getting medicine oftentimes is enough that people, their bodies heal itself, right? So they just go, I should be healed, this medicine should heal me. They believe it, and so they heal themselves. Now this isn't 100% accurate, okay? There's some stuff that's like, nah man, you need some penicillin if you want to kill that bacteria, or whatever. But the fact that literally every drug is tested against just the belief that the drug might work says to me that there's definitely power in faith, okay? There's power in, I believe this is going to work, and your body goes, then I'm going to make it so. My brain is going to tell all the different body parts, like, go fight this thing. We're going to win. We got the right stuff. We have the faith to do this, and the mere belief in that is enough to convince your brain that then your body takes over. So that's like a medical example of how faith works. But then something that a lot of people don't talk about is faith in action, okay? And the Bible says that faith without works is dead. That just like your body is without your soul, so is faith without works. So sometimes you have to believe that something could happen enough that you're willing to do the work to make it happen. I believed I could take this tile up. I knew it would be a pain. Every part of me was like, ugh, I don't want to do this. And then scraping the thin set, I was like, I really don't want to do this. And my body's like, you don't want to do this at all. But I had the faith to understand that yes, I can do it. But that's not just waving a magic wand over it and going, I hope this happens. This is believing it and then getting down there and doing the work to actually make it so. And so there are a lot of things like that we have today. I mean, we have amazing technology because somebody believed that it could happen, and then they put in the work until it did happen. And so if we apply that same thing that science does, and we apply that to our faith, and we went, I believe this, and now I'm going to push through until it actually happens. I want to live in a neighborhood where everybody loves each other. I want to live in a neighborhood where if your neighbor's in trouble, everybody rallies together and goes, let me help you. Right? You're getting a bad time, and I don't mean you're destitute. I mean like, hey, you're hitting a bump in the road. Let's make that easier for you. We're all carrying this together. Let's make this a better place to live. We don't feel like we have to avoid each other. We're like, hey, how are you doing? How can I help you? I want to be involved in your life. I want to live in a neighborhood like that. And so I am making a neighborhood like that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of investment, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of blood and sweat, but I want that so much that I'm like, I'm going to have neighbors that I love, and I'm going to treat them that way, and then it will become that. And so I love my neighborhood, but part of the reason why I love my neighborhood is because I put in the work to make it so. So I encourage you, have the faith to put your faith into action and make it into works. So hopefully this helps you, and hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. We'll give you like a follow-up later on. All right, hold on. So I was pretty lazy about making videos, and I'm sorry. But if you remember yesterday, this was a much smaller shower, just that little fiberglass thing. We enlarged it. We built this bench, poured the pan, put in a new shower faucet, new drain and everything, and laid all this tile today. And we patched up in the ceiling. We still need to do a couple coats of tape and bed. So we're about to put this hexagon stuff down here. Right, so that'll be pretty nice, and then we're about to lay tile all over this floor. So let's take a quick look. So we took all the carpet out and all this tile out. It was a big pain, and then we put in this tub, but we're waiting on the faucet. So once the faucet's in, then we'll tile around this. So I want to tell you guys what I think is a pretty cool story. I have been trying to subdivide some land for the last 2 years, and I've had a real hard time with the city of Kennedale. And there's been one person in particular who will remain nameless who has been a thorn in my side, okay? And so enough time passed, I was like, this is really getting ridiculous. And so then the Bible says to pray for your enemies. And so I was like, I'm gonna pray for this person. I was like, I pray that they find a job that they love and that they're good at and makes them happy, and I pray good things upon them. And so yesterday, I get a text that says, hey, they're having a meeting to possibly fire this person. And I'm like, what are the odds of that? So I show up, but before I show up, I'm like, I've got so much stuff that I could say about this person. And then I'm like, I probably ought to take a step back and just be nice. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let God fight my battles. So let me tell you why I thought this. If you guys know the story of Gideon, God calls Gideon, he says, you're gonna lead my armies. And he's like, I'm a farmer. And God's like, yeah, I know. So you're gonna lead my armies. And so they gather like 30,000 men. And God's like, yeah, that's too many men. That if there's this many men, then the people of Israel might think, we won this battle instead of God won this battle. And so he's like, tell everybody to drink out of the stream, and whoever drinks the water like this, send them home, and whoever just sticks their face in the water, then let them stay. And he keeps weaning people. First he says, let anybody that wants to go home, go home. And so a bunch of people leave. And then he keeps weaning them down till there's only 300 people left. And Gideon's like, I'm not really a warrior, and now you're letting me fight this huge army of like 100,000 people with 300 people. And God's like, because you're not the one fighting this. I'm the one fighting this for you. And so he's like, okay, I'll do what you say. I guess I'll trust you. And he does, and he shows up, and God makes chaos in the other enemy's camp, and they fight each other, and they kill each other, and then they run off. And by the time Gideon and his men get there, they basically just walk in, and everything's gone. All the people are gone and everything. So I show up last night, I'm like, God, I'm going to let you fight this battle for me. I'm going to keep my mouth shut unless I'm called upon, which, you know, is difficult sometimes when you have a lot of frustration with something. I show up, I'm like, hey, I heard there's a meeting about this, and they go, there's no need. That person quit earlier today. And I'm like, hallelujah. I really hope that she finds something that is wonderful for her and something, but I am so ready to be done with this chapter of my life and move on. So that's kind of a praise report for me. We're going to lay this tile real quick, and I'll show you a picture or a video by the time we get done. All right, so what do you guys want? You're probably wondering if I did anything today. As usual, the answer is no. In fact, I don't even have anything funny to say. Right now I've got like 2 brain cells left, and they're both fighting for 3rd place. So this is what we did. Take a look. If you look to the left, you'll see all that shower that we laid, and all this floor, and then that skirt, and on all that floor. And it's beautiful. So how excited am I right now? 127% excited. I hope you guys are having a wonderful hump day or Wednesday or whatever you call it in your world, and I hope that everything goes your way. So is there anything else that we could possibly talk about that might be interesting to you guys? The answer is maybe. Do you like snow cones? Because they're delicious and they're made out of snow that they have to import from Alaska right now because there's no snow around here. So you ought to get one. And that's all I got to say. Have a snow cone. Love you. Bye. Oh, hey there. So a lot of you guys are probably sitting there thinking to yourself, so number A, what's John doing? You know, working. And then letter 2, like, how do I do a hot patch? And what is a hot patch? So let's say you got a hole in your wall. This one's a pretty small hole, right? And you're like, should I cut all the way back to the studs and like, you know, redo a whole big piece of sheetrock? Maybe, you know, but maybe you're lazy, like me. And so what you do is you get a piece of sheetrock. I already did this because, you know, whatever. And you cut it bigger than the hole, right? But then you cut it the size of the hole and then break it off and then just leave the paper, okay? You see that? And then we take some mud, and our mud knife, mud pan here, and we put this on here. This is where it gets really tricky. You know, when I say that, it's never going to be tricky after that. Then you put this in there, and then stick it to the wall, and then you want to squeeze it out. And then mud over it. Boom, hot patch. So that's how that works. Now, I've had several people like, John, what in the world is all this stuff that you're doing where you're reenacting things, right? So, just to be clear, because I'm so excited about it, I want to tell you. Number A, Washington's Armor is a movie, and it's really a trilogy, so it's 3 movies. And that's being made out at Capernaum Studios, and Tammy Lane's making that, and is doing just a magnificent job. So excellence in everything, good stories about George Washington, and how, you know, when he was younger, how he grew into becoming the first president of the United States. So wonderful story. I worked on that for 3 weeks. They've been working on it much longer. It's a multi-million-dollar production, and support it if you can. And then also I can't wait till it comes out. So that's one thing. But then also we're working on a show called Declaration, and in that show I am Benjamin Franklin, and that's going to be like a variety sketch comedy kind of a show. And what the premise is that Ryan Johnson, who is an amazing actor, friend, stunt person, what have you, is this millennial, and he's got this history book, and he's going to go tear it up publicly, and, you know, like, haha, I'm going to set history right. And on his way to do that, at this rally, he gets knocked in the head, and he ends up in 1773 Boston. And then he has this history book. He's like, oh, I can change history for the better, and I can make all the things that are wrong with now, I can fix them way back when. So he gets on the side of the British, and he tries to like foil the Boston Tea Party, and he tries to get people to like pay more taxes and obey King George, and on and on and on. And in the meantime, I'm Benjamin Franklin, and I keep like messing his plans up, and other things keep messing his plans up, and a lot of times his own foolishness and naivety of being young it also messes planes up. But that's a fun show, and so you will be seeing more and more about that as time passes. But we are, I didn't tell you what we're doing in this room. So this room was here. This was just a small laundry room, like barely enough for a washer and dryer. And then this was kind of an open, this was open, and there's a doorway here and a little bar area, right? But they wanted to have a bigger laundry room, utility room, and so we took this door out and patched that. We took this thing out, this bar or whatever, and then we closed all this in. There was a return air duct up there, and we put that out in the living room, and then we patched the other sides of it, and then we put in some outlets and put lights together and things like that. So anyway, love you guys. Try to get another one after this. All right, hello. So let me show you around what we did. We've been doing a bunch of different things, but we put new doors in, and then a new door here. Oops. Another door here. We case this opening. When people talk about casing an opening, this is what it means. You have like a doorway, but you don't have a door stop, and then you don't have a door or hinges or anything like that. So it's just cased opening. We went and put the toilet in, and it works. We got the new vanity in, and that works. The sinks work and everything, which is beautiful. We got this tub in. We laid the tile around the tub today, so it's got to dry. And then tomorrow we will grout it, and we'll finish grouting this floor. Over here you can see we did this shower. I don't know if you remember. This was fiberglass. And then there was like a closet, and we enlarged this whole thing and put this bench in. And so we've got it grouted, which is wonderful, but we're still gonna put a sliding glass door up, and we still gotta put a shower head and then texture up here. So what I wanna talk to you guys about is turnaround time. And I know what you're thinking, what in the world is that, John? You always talk about dumb stuff. So here's what it is. Imagine that you've had a bad habit, whatever in the world that bad habit is. You're drinking, you're doing drugs, you're smoking, I don't know, you're overeating, maybe you don't sleep right, whatever in the world your bad habit is. And then something happens, and here's what I've noticed. The change will not occur until the pain is great enough. But once the pain is great enough, then you finally decide, you know what? I want to stop doing this thing, or I want to start doing this other thing. And then you tell everybody. And then you fail. And then you're embarrassed, and then the next time, the law of, what is it? Diminishing returns says that once you try something, and if you fail or you don't do it, then the next time you're going to try a little bit less and a little bit less until you stop trying at all. But here's my suggestion to you. Turnaround time means that you're doing a behavior, it's ingrained in you. You've been doing it your whole life or for a very long time. It's become a habit, right? And so now you're thinking, I don't want to do this bad thing, right? But then something happens and it triggers you, and then you do it without thought because you've been doing it for so long, you just do it. So that's step one. You do it, but then afterwards you regret it. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And I feel bad about it. So then that's step one. I didn't think about it. It was natural. Afterwards I thought about it. I regret it. I feel guilt. So that's a bad place to be. A lot of people give up there. Keep going. So then you're coming up to the bad thing. You get triggered. You're about to do it. You think, I shouldn't do this. I know I'm going to regret it. And then you do it anyway. And then you regret it. A lot of people give up there. Don't give up. Keep going. This takes time, right? Then, third step. You're about to get triggered, you think, I don't want to do this, and then you don't do it. And then afterwards, you kind of feel good. You're like, I did the thing, or I didn't do the thing that I've been trying to accomplish. That's a great step. And then finally, it just becomes natural for you to not do it at all. So the triggers don't matter anymore. You're just like, now I've made a new habit. My new habit is being healthy. And apparently, I've been unsaved by the bell. Anyway, so hopefully that encourages you guys because, look, life is short. I've had 5 friends die in the last, I think, 2 weeks, something like that. And I'm just constantly reminded, like, if you want to change something, change it. Like, don't be remembered for the other thing. Don't go down like that. Like, be a good person. Get right with God. Stop doing the things that are killing you. Be an encouragement, an example to other people. Like, live a life that's worth living. So hopefully that helps you guys. I've got to go act in a commercial, and tomorrow we're going to come in here and do some more. We probably won't even get done tomorrow because we got things in the other rooms. But love you guys. See you soon. Good morning. So I kind of got news. Somebody broke into my house last night and stole my Scrabble game. I'm at a loss for words. All right, so we've got this job done, and I'm not going to open the shower door right now because we got wet silicone everywhere. But as you can see, we built this bench. If you remember, this shower was right here, and then there was like a linen closet or something. We made that wider. We put in this bench. We did all the tile work and this glass door yesterday, and I just think it's beautiful, and I'm very happy with it. We also put in this door. We put in this vanity. which is nice. It's got a bunch of cool features like the soft close, right? So you can't slam them because they just close on their own. And I just slammed it right when I said you couldn't. There you go. That's how it should work. And then it's got a bunch of cool things in there. They actually got this at Costco, which I never shop at Costco because I don't cook. But they got this whole thing. So the vanity and the top, yeah, the vanity and the top with the built-in sinks for I think $12.99. So that's a really good price if you guys want to go there. And I think this is a 6-foot vanity. Anyway, we put in this tub as well. And it's beautiful. It's a deep soaker tub. So some people like jetted tubs and some people don't. What happens with a jetted tub, why you wouldn't like it, is because this is deeper, but also jetted tubs have the tubes that come in, and the tubes kind of get filled with yucky water, and then sometimes you turn them on and black stuff comes out or whatever. Now I think you can pour bleach in there and then run the jets, and that'll clean that out, and there's some other things that can help you, but some people don't like that. So we got a new tub in here, and then we put in these 2 doors, we put in a new toilet, all this tile, and I think it's beautiful. So it's about 11:45, and we're a go for lunch. That's it, we're go for lunch.